Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Saul right here on Superlative Radio. Last week's episode, when we talked about Wandavision, I had said it was episode 7, and I got a little confused. It was episode 6. This week's is episode 7, so we have 2 more after this one. And
You're fine.
yeah,
You'll be okay.
anyway,
Did you forget to take your pill? Is that what the problem is?
this one is...
Don't answer me.
I'm not. Don't worry.
Okay.
This one is what I've been saying all along. I mean, you go back, watch them. What did I say right from the beginning? Who was involved? What's going on?
Yep.
And I'm even going to show you where you can see so many things. Like, it's just, all right. We got a lot to talk about with it. That's for sure. It was a
I watched
very good
it and
episode.
thought, like I said, I mean, I don't catch all the subtleties, but I was watching it and I was thinking to myself, boy, oh boy, I think we're going to have, and I mean, I don't even know half of what you do about it. And I had a feeling there was a lot coming in there. So
Yeah, there really is. And the next 2, I mean, it's just going to be mind-boggling.
well, they
got
to really pack a lot of shit in there for the next 2 then to make it work, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think they really have to. There's a lot being revealed. Anyway, overall though, before we get into the nitty gritty of it, what'd you think of it?
As usual, I enjoyed it very much. It's really turning into a good series. I mean, I enjoyed it from the beginning. As you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
But
me too.
the more I'm getting into it, actually, the more I'm enjoying it. I'm finding that it's really quite interesting, and it's and what I found out this week, by the way, I didn't realize, but she's one of the Olsen sisters.
Elizabeth Olsen?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's their younger sister.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Oh.
I never put that together until
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen
Yeah,
is.
I never knew that because I was I looked at her face and I have I seen her before somewhere? I thought so. I googled her.
Except she's better looking.
Well, I don't
and,
know. I don't know which one it is, but one of the I don't know if it's Mary Kate or Ashley or whatever. One of them is not too bad. I mean, I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers.
No,
but,
I mean, but I think she's better looking. I think she's far more talented.
well, it's hard to beat Full House, with everything that they had. So I mean, but and I mean they've done well. Let's face it, they've
all
made
done
themselves
well.
a fortune. So
Yeah, they've all done well because I mean the other 2, the twins, have like a fashion line and
they're just
perfume.
They're worth
and all.
billions. So it's just
It's not like they're not doing well.
no, definitely not. But anyways, yeah, it's just that I didn't realize she was, so
yeah,
it was really
she is,
cool.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, great series. Overall, I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I'm really just dying to see where it's going to end up, and I'm quite anxious. So yeah, I'm still there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Good.
As I was going to say, as an outsider, I guess if that's the word to use, because I'm not quite in the know or in the loop as you are. Like a hell of a lot more than I do about things like that. But so I guess I just say, sort of as an outsider, I'm still enjoying it quite a bit. So
Awesome.
I guess that's
good.
a good thing.
That's good. And I hope everybody out there that's watching, I hope you guys are enjoying
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, I hope you guys are enjoying it, and let me know
Because,
how you
yeah,
feel.
let us
I'd like
know
to know.
below. I'd love to know what you guys think of it.
Same here.
Because I know I've enjoyed it immensely. How about you, Mark? You enjoying it?
Mark,
yeah.
he's enjoying it. Good.
Mark's giving the old thumbs up to it. So, yeah, it
Was
is
that
really
his thumb?
good. Well, if it's not his thumb, I don't want to know what it was.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So, no, it is really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As each one has gone along, it's funny. As it's gone along, they have just like sort of like, been going at a pace like this.
Yeah, and now they're going like this.
And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, it just, as soon, the pace was good. It had a nice flow, and then they just went, like they were drag racing, and those those long cars
That's right.
that have the
That's right.
drags that
Yep.
pop up like that. That is just what it's like. It's just blown.
Because they're hitting the finish line.
Now,
so it's,
what's really amazing is I have gone back and I've rewatched the whole series twice this week.
okay.
And there is stuff right from the very, very first episode
I guess
that
I'm going to
I
have to do that.
knew.
Then.
I was like, oh man, now I see it. Now I see it because I'm seeing even more.
Well, sure, because now that you've gotten, it makes sense. I'm going to have to do the same thing this week if I get the chance.
There is, but right from the beginning, I said that Agnes was going to be Agatha Harkness.
You said that, yep.
And I said that she was going to be involved through somehow manipulating Wanda or whatever.
Yep.
and Mephisto is probably the villain. And the reason I say that is because Agatha Harkness in the comics has a connection to Mephisto. And
is Mephisto a major player, or is he just in the background? Is he one of
he's
the
the
major
devil.
players? Yeah, but is he one of the major players? in it?
yeah, I would say so. And
I mean, is he a character?
yeah.
Okay, so he is there.
Oh,
as-
I don't know. I don't think we've seen him physically in
Okay,
this
that's
show.
what I meant. Okay,
Really,
okay.
necessarily. It's possible. Like I said, I've stated before that I think the stork was a manifestation of him.
Well, you said to me off air that there you saw him.
Yeah. So
Am I giving a secret away on you here?
no. So let's pretty much start at the beginning. The episode opens up.
I got an idea. Why don't we start at the beginning?
Starts up with, of course, Vision.
What do you think, Mark?
And he gets up, and
Come on, if I don't interrupt him, I'm not holding my.
He's looking at the Jesus Christ. He's looking at, of course, the circus, and of course he sees Kat Dennings' character and Darcy. And eventually he touches her and frees Darcy's mind, and
That's
he
right.
starts to learn. Now, one of the things that I noticed is as they're driving and she's talking to him and stuff, one thing I really don't understand is how she knows so much about what went on. Like, one of the things that I've been very surprised at is how much regular people seem to know about the Avengers. Okay, like,
I'm not following what you're saying.
okay, so let's go back to the episode where Wanda's pregnant and having the kids.
Okay.
And Monica says to her about her brother, he was killed by Ultron.
That's right.
Okay. Now, yeah, I know that Monica is part of SWORD, and SWORD
Right, 'cause
would
she
know
had the
some
little-
would know some secrets and things. But at the same time, I don't really know how common knowledge it would be that he was killed by Ultron. That Quicksilver was killed by Ultron. I don't really understand how that would be such, even amongst something like SWORD. I don't, because SWORD wasn't involved. It was SHIELD that was the remnants of SHIELD that was there, that showed up. But I mean that okay, that could be possible. All right. But then they get into, like, Darcy gets into an extreme amount of detail with Vision about how, knowing that he came from Jarvis and Ultron and the Mind Stone, and that Thanos showed up, and that
Well, wasn't she doing all that on the computer, finding all this stuff out?
that he asked Wanda to kill him, and then of course Thanos brought him back and killed him again, and all. Like, Darcy knows a lot of stuff that the only people who would actually know anything were the Avengers that were right there. So that would consist of Wanda, who wouldn't have told anybody. And nobody would have known anyway because Wanda was snapped away, right? So Captain America was there. I doubt Captain America was going to go around blabbing. Like, it seems to me that there is
Funny?
No, not something funny. It just seems to me that regular people know an awful lot about a very limited knowledge thing. Like, there was only a half a dozen people right there when Thanos killed Vision.
Okay.
Right? It just, like, there was Scarlet Witch, there was Captain America, there was Vision, of course. The Hulk was there, Falcon was there, Rhodey was there. But that was it. Like, there was nobody else there. And
So do you have an idea why?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Winter Soldier was there, and then he kills him, disappears, snaps everybody away, whatever, right? Most of those people disappeared. So what gets me that I don't understand is, well, if that's the case, how does everybody know these intimate details that Vision asked her? Like,
So it's an anachronism?
nobody would have heard Vision ask her to kill him. Nobody. Because, if you look back at Infinity War, he looks at her and he says, "We're out of time. You have to, do it. You're right." It's just the two of them. Nobody else is there. Like,
So you're saying it's an anachronism?
I'm saying it doesn't. No, I'm not saying it's an inaccuracy at all. It's not inaccurate. It's not inaccurate what's being said.
No, but it's inaccurate, the fact that she should know it.
No. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Not that it's inaccurate. Inaccurate would imply a mistake.
Right.
Well, like that something there that happened was wrong. Well, nothing there.
The writing, I mean.
Yeah, but it's like, to me it makes no sense. Like, and then of course she knows an awful lot about everybody being brought back, and like, people know an awful lot about things they would not have any knowledge of. And that to me makes no sense. So it's the one thing about the show that I'm like, people know way too much about things that they shouldn't. Like, how did Sword end up with Vision's body? That's what I'd like to know.
Okay, so
I
maybe
can't
we
see the
find out-
Avengers. I can't see the Avengers in the 5 years that passed. I can't see Tony and the rest of the Avengers handing him over.
Well, maybe we'll find out in the next two. I don't know. Maybe it'll all come
I said that
together.
on the last episode and one before, I think. Like, I just can't see them handing him over to Sword. So there's an awful lot there that doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Now, of course, the episode starts with him. He frees her. She goes, tells him all this stuff. And then it goes to Monica Rambeau coming up to the this other camp where she'd got some other Sword people who were loyal to her to get out the lunar rover thing.
That's right.
So that she could try to break in.
And that didn't work.
And then, of course, she pushes through. And when she does, now, I don't know if anybody else notices this, but when they're all at that encampment and they're looking at the hex, and you can actually see, because they're far enough away now, you can see the hex. There's a line, and then you can see how it goes into the hex formation. Right. But at the same time, if you look at the hex, you can see images from inside the hex in the red.
Oh, I didn't see that. No.
Yeah, you can see. I'll point them out. You can see, like I'm gonna, like, right here. You can see, if you look carefully, you'll see the like right there. See the you'll see the like the big top or whatever and stuff. Like, you'll see images.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, like,
Okay.
you can, and as she's pushing her way through, again, you'll see things. You'll hear her hearing things that she said or that people said to her. Not like it's really. So when she comes through, you notice, of course, her eyes are different.
That's right, yep.
And she's looking at everything and seeing it in a very weird pattern. That's because her powers have, due to
in.
what Darcy said about her going
Right.
back and forth, her molecules
Yep.
or whatever cells being altered.
Yep.
Well, now she has her powers. She now actually has her powers, and you see that when she confronts Wanda, and Wanda, of course, pushes her up into the air, and when she lands, you see her, as her hands come
Yeah,
down,
that's right.
boom, a shock of power coming
Yeah,
out, right?
that's right.
So there's that. Of course, then we see the fact that Wanda, of course, can't control what's actually going on. You notice her house starts changing,
Yeah.
and she
There's
fixes it, and then it
clicks and-
starts
yeah,
glitching
yeah,
again. The boys, their video game controllers keep changing.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, everything, everything just keeps changing
Changing
and
it.
going on,
That's right.
and she can't control it.
And the stork reappeared for 1 second.
Did you actually? Yes, I was going to mention that. The stork, Mark says the stork reappeared. Yeah, the stork reappears, and if you listen, you can hear the stork laugh at her.
Okay, I didn't catch that one.
The stork actually laughs at her.
Okay.
Which is another reason why I think it's Mephisto, because it
Okay.
laughs at her. It actually laughs.
Guess I got to
at
go
her.
back and watch it again then.
Yeah.
I guess
So-
I missed a lot.
Oh, there's so much in it. Like, this episode is just bam packed
Jam-packed.
with stuff.
Okay.
Of course, like I said, then of course, so Agnes shows up,
Yep.
offers to take the boys, and
Give her a break
give her
kinda
a
thing,
break
yep.
or whatever, right? And so off she goes. And when Monica, of course, comes in and confronts her, that's when Agnes, of course, shows up. Now, if you notice, when you look at the houses, the flowers in front of everybody's houses are colored in the same color as their powers. So if you look at the flowers in front of Wanda and Vision's house, they're all red and pink, like for Wanda's power color, right? Red. If you look in front of Agnes's house, they're all purple. And if you notice, all the color for Agatha Harkness's powers is purple. Now, I don't know if you noticed also, but there's a scene when Monica is confronting. She's confronting Wanda, and you can see really quick, right here. You see Dottie. She's looking over, and all her flowers are yellow.
I missed all that.
Yeah. So there's just all these little hints, and of course, when that happens, of course, Agnes comes over and just basically tells Monica to go away and takes Wanda over to her house or whatever, and they go in and she offers to make Wanda some tea, and Wanda looks at the table and she sees there's half-eaten sandwiches and milk
That's right,
and some
yeah, exactly.
children's shows on the TV, and then she asks where the boys are, and she says, oh, they must be in the basement playing or whatever. When she looks around, there's the fly, the big, it's like a really big fly on the drapes, and she looks at the rabbit cage. Now, Agnes calls the rabbit Scratchy. Now, in the comic books, I believe that was Agatha's son. That was soul was put into the rabbit by Mephisto, which is why she's working for Mephisto, is to try to get her son freed from that transformation. So that's why I don't think the rabbit is one of the boys.
Okay.
I think the fly was, or the bug, whatever it was.
Okay.
And of course, then Monica goes downstairs to look
And they're
for
not
the
there.
boys, and she sees the weird, alcove, and she goes into it. Now you notice as she walks in, and you only see it for a split second, but right as she walks in, it opens into that room, and you can see all the little alcoves and stuff. Well, when she walks in, as the camera pans right there, you see a demon. And that's Mephisto, I think.
I missed that.
Of course, then, she sees the old magic
Yep.
spell book, right?
Yep.
And of course, then Agnes comes down, and as you can see, she's like, "Oh, it was me," or whatever, and she does her flip of her powers, and
That's
you see
right.
it into Wanda's eyes and her
Yep,
head, right?
yep.
Like she mind controls her, and then of course we get the little play on. It's been Agatha.
That's right, that's right, yeah, that
all
whole
along, and
little
it's done in like the Addams Family
right.
or
Munsters.
Munsters
Yeah.
logo kind of stuff, and then it shows all the scenes where I knew, and I had said, I know something right there is going on with Agnes. Something right there is going on with Agnes, but now we're seeing it from the point of where she's actually, you can see her manipulating things.
That's right, where you
from
didn't
behind
see
the
it
scenes.
before.
You didn't see it
Yeah,
before,
that's
but
right.
now we're seeing it, and we see her like whip up this image of Pietro, who arrives at the door, right?
And during the talent show, she's doing things from the audience. You see all the little things. Exactly. Yep.
Right, and of course, that's kind of where they leave it. Of course, the other thing that I want to mention is, of course, Hayward outside at the new base he set up like 8 miles away. He mentions that they're going to go in, they're going to launch and
That's
go
right.
in on their thing today. So that's there too. So that we know that's coming. But of course that's how it goes, and then of course it ends. It goes to the credits, and then after the credits, of course, we get the scene of Monica. Did you watch all the way through the credits?
No, I missed that.
What have I told you?
I know, I didn't.
Watch all the way through the credits. Always watch all the way through the credits.
Once I see the credits, I figured it's over. What happened? What did I miss?
So, of course, we see Monica go up to Agnes's house, and she looks in the window, and then she sees the cellar doors, and she opens them up, and she looks down, and she sees all the roots with all the purple power flowing through them or whatever, and then it pans, and the camera looks up from the cellar at her as Monica's standing there, and all of a sudden, whoosh, there's Quicksilver, and he's like, "Snoopers will snoop," and she looks at him, and that's how it ends. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
So there is a lot going on in this episode, and of course you notice that Darcy and Vision keep getting stopped along the way as they're trying to get
different
because
roadblocks.
they keep getting stopped by Wanda. Well, actually, I don't think it's Wanda. I think it's Agnes. Actually, that's stopping,
Slowing them down. Okay.
slowing them down, so they don't get to her in time. But yeah, there is an awful lot that goes on. There's so much in this episode, And for once, it really, really, really is just they're like hitting us with stuff, and it's so amazing to see. So, if you haven't been watching, man,
Get in there.
get in there. This is a really cool episode. I'm also going to show that
It's a great series.
in Spider-Man: Far From Home, the post-credit scene, we see Nick Fury, and we know that he's on an orbital base of some kind or a spaceship of some kind. And if you look in that end credit scene right here, because we're gonna clip it and show it, is the hex on the wall. So he's still monitoring what's going on Earth. So, and I think that's going to connect to Agents of S.W.O.R.D. and it's going to connect to Secret Invasion and all this stuff. So. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's going to be really cool how they're all tying everything together. But yeah, I mean, just a phenomenal episode. Did you guys spot Mephisto? Did you guys, because
Yeah,
that's what I think the demon is. I think it's Mephisto.
Yeah. Did you guys see the stuff that he's talking about? Because I totally missed it. So.
But when you go back, now I did mention earlier, when you go back and there's things that pop up in the earlier episodes that now you go, oh my Lord. If you watch them again, you'll see the very first episode when they're having dinner. Okay? They're having dinner.
With his boss?
With his boss and his wife, right? And you notice the boss, he starts to choke.
Yep.
And of course, the woman at first, she's like, "Stop it!
Yeah.
Stop it! Stop it!" And then she's like,
A little more serious. Stop it.
"Yeah." And then it gets more and more like she's looking at her husband saying, "Stop it." When he falls to the floor, and I never really picked up on it until I rewatched it a couple of times this week.
Well, Vision put his hand in.
No, not that.
Oh.
She turns and looks to Wanda and starts saying, "Stop it! Stop it!"
Oh.
She actually looks at Wanda and says it.
I'm gonna have to watch this stuff again. Okay.
Yeah. So now I'm not going to point out all the others, but there is a lot of stuff that happens in the earlier episodes that we're starting to see pay off, which is what I said all along would happen. But if you go back and you start to watch these things, you will, if you pay attention, you will actually start to see these things. You'll actually start to pick up and go, oh my God, yeah, there was.
This
But you
or
got
that
to
or-
watch for it. Like when you sit down and
It ties it all together.
yeah, when you sit down, you watch it through the whole thing next time. Don't pay so much attention to what's being said necessarily. Pay attention to what your eyes are watching. Like watch the screen, look at everything. Like I even went to the point where after she boots Monica out the first time and blows her through the wall, when she repairs the wall and all the books come back, it got to the point where I actually read all of the books names. I paused
Boy,
the
did
screen.
you ever dissect it, eh?
I paused the screen and I watched. And if you do that throughout the episodes and you pause on certain things or you look to see the things you can read in the background or the things that are in the background,
There's hints there.
all through them. Every episode. Marvel does not disappoint with what's in the back. I'm telling you. Just
Okay, so dissect it. and see
dissect
what
it
you-
if you really are interested and you really, I mean, if you're just watching it for the sake of watching it and having fun, great. All the more power to you. Enjoy it. It's wonderful. But if you really want to try to pick up on some of these little subtleties, then watch it in slow motion, like at 0.25% speed or half speed, or pause it at certain points. Try not necessarily to listen to what's being said, but watch what's actually happening. Because that's where you'll start to get the clues. Anyway,
Okay.
that being said, it's just phenomenal. Next week, as I'm going to explain what's going to happen over the next few weeks with us. Next week, of course, we only have WandaVision episode 8 to talk about, so
Yep.
there will be that. The week after, however, with the last episode of WandaVision, we will be back with Pennyworth, because Pennyworth is back
Pennyworth's
on TV
back,
that
yep.
week. So 2 more weeks and we'll be back to talking about Pennyworth. And then we're going to have 1 week of just Pennyworth to talk about. And then after that, we'll be talking about Pennyworth and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because that's coming right up. So,
So it's gonna
there's
be-
another one for us to delve right into, and I'm telling you, man, like, just be prepared because I know there's so much stuff coming there too, and yeah, so this is really cool. Also, I'd love to know what you guys think of our new backdrop here, with how the backdrop is and how we're showing the videos, and you know. It's a big shout out to Mark there. He did a lot of work to
Oh,
make
God,
this
did he ever.
happen.
Yep.
And, you know, him and I sat and discussed the idea, and I asked him if it was possible, and he did it. So he's done a great job with the background. So I'd love to know what you guys think of it. Do
That's
you think
Marky
it's really
G
cool?
magic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it all is. Also, the week we come back and we're going to be talking about WandaVision and Pennyworth will be our next episode of All in the Pen that weekend too. So
That's right. Yeah.
stay tuned for that and watch it. I hope you guys will enjoy it.
Yeah. I hope you're
it's
enjoying
fun,
what we're doing. We're having a lot of fun
you know.
with it. It really is.
And I will tell you, if you get the opportunity to watch our All in the Pen shows on something other than your phone, like a computer screen, and blow it up to full screen, or on a TV if you can, you know, stream it through like an Xbox or a PlayStation or your
Whatever,
DVD
yeah.
player or your smart TV, whatever it might be. There are little things that we even like, you know, that even Marky G has put in our backgrounds that you
Hey.
can see. So
He's
you may
got his
not-
own
you
little
may not-
subtleties
yeah,
going on
we,
too,
We
yeah.
have our own little subtleties. You may not pick them up on a phone because the screens are so small. So give it a check out, because you know we got some cool things, and maybe we'll do an All in the Pen episode of this, and we'll talk about them and show some of those. But I just really want you guys to check it out, because
There's a lot of fun.
we put a lot of work into it, and Mark does some phenomenal
Oh,
work
God.
with it. And,
Unbelievable.
so check it out. Okay. That said, stay safe. Check out our vlogs. We've got some great vlogs coming up, and we will see you guys next week for another episode.
Take care, guys. Stay healthy.